The truth that shakes the core of every high-stakes investor, every leader who's faced the grinding frustration of markets that promise much and deliver little, is this: the stock market, the place everyone tells you to trust, is not where the richest play. It's where the many lose their pulse, their grip, their edge. Every day, brilliant minds, those who should be winning, watch their gains whittled away by volatility, by forces they don't control and can't predict. They chase after fleeting numbers, drowned in noise, while their real wealth, their legacies, dissolve in plain sight. They are trapped in a cycle as old as finance itself, a maze of ups and downs, heartbreak and hope, where the promise of freedom is a lie hidden behind charts and ticker symbols. It's a game built for the masses, the comfortable, not for the rare, the sovereign, the relentless. Feel that tension yet? That gnawing feeling inside that screams, this can't be all there is. That the freedom you seek, real autonomy, control, meaning, is still out there, waiting, but just beyond reach. You're right. Because freedom isn't handed out in the form of shares or ETFs. It's forged in the fires where the rare collide, where controlled risks meet vision, where true power lives in what others overlook, private equity. That dark, misunderstood realm where the boldest don't just invest, they build, grow, and own the future. This is the place where control stops being an illusion and becomes a tool razor sharp enough to carve a path no one else sees. Understand this: the stock market, with all its data and noise, is a loud, shallow pool. It's a place of surface-level metrics, of fleeting trends, of herd mentality. Here, your fate can change with the twitch of an algorithm or a single news headline. Worst of all, your will, the sharpest weapon in your arsenal, is diminished every second you entrust your future to it. The market is a mirage of liquidity that seduces but never satisfies. On the other hand, private equity is the deep ocean, slow-moving, mysterious, powerful. It demands patience, insight, nerve, but it offers something stock investing can never match: real influence over the outcome, real capacity to shape and accelerate growth, to unlock hidden value buried in the heart of companies and innovations that others fail to see. Look around. The richest investors aren't dazzled by daily price swings or quarterly earnings reports. They invest where they can dig their hands into the ground, where they can lean in, strategize, and create. That's private equity, an active partnership with the future. You don't just buy into what a company is today, you buy into what it can become tomorrow. You are part of the transformation. Your capital becomes a lever, your insight a blueprint, your network the secret catalyst to multiply impact. This is where true wealth is built, slowly, deliberately, and often invisibly, far away from the flash and frenzy of public markets. Now, consider the frustration of waiting on the sidelines, watching others scramble through short-term games while you hunger for a place to unleash your vision and drive. The stock market's illusion is comfortable but deadly. It asks you to cede control, to hope luck is on your side, to accept that your freedom is, in reality, just a performance tied to the unpredictable whims of millions of strangers. But what if that wasn't your fate? What if instead of being another player in a crowded field, you could become a creator, a builder of opportunity, steering the ship rather than drifting with the tide? This is no mere fantasy. It's a reality within grasp for those who refuse the ordinary. For those who know that real freedom is not about having options, it's about having power. Power not to follow but to lead, not to react but to design the game itself. Private equity gives you access to a world that's largely invisible but vitally alive. Companies with untapped potential, revolutionary ideas spun by visionaries who need not just money, but partnership, guidance, strength. In this space, your experience, your strategic mind, your network become weapons. Together, you rewrite the rules, shape outcomes, and harvest rewards that are not dictated by a market bell, but earned through real, tangible growth. You may ask, why doesn't everyone do this? Because it's hard. Because it requires looking past the comfort and safety of the familiar, embracing a long view over instant gratification. Because it calls for patience when the world screams for speed. Because it means stepping away from the noise in the crowd, refusing to drown in endless data, and instead trusting your instincts, your knowledge, your sense of what's next. Private equity is not for the timid. It is for the few who burn brighter, think deeper, and bear a hunger that no flashy stock market can satisfy. Imagine the alternatives suffering from this illusion, the risk of sudden crashes, the hollow victories of short rallies, the false hope that comes in a daily portfolio update. Think about the distraction, the exhaustion, the lost time spent chasing temporary highs while your real potential lies dormant. Then recognize this. The richest investors don't avoid the stock market because it's worthless. They avoid it because it's a cage, a well-lit prison where freedom is measured in fractional gains but never given truly. They move into private equity because it's the wild frontier beyond the cage, where risk can be controlled, where impact is visible, and where true autonomy flourishes. At the heart of this is an essential truth: control is freedom. And no market controls your freedom like private equity does. The ability to influence decisions, to partner with management teams, to drive growth aligned with your values and strategy, that's the real power. Here, investment is more than numbers. It's a mission, a craftsman's work. Your capital becomes a tool to rebuild, rethink, relaunch. No longer are you a passenger on a train bound by schedules and destinations you can't change. You become the engineer, the conductor, the architect of your own financial destiny. Let's talk about the counterintuitive lessons you won't hear on every finance podcast. That true wealth is not fleeting, it's enduring. It's not bought in bulk from the market's trading floor, but earned through partnership, through working with the exceptional few who see what others miss. You must learn to identify companies led by founders and teams that burn with passion, that are hungry to break molds, that value being misunderstood over being mainstream. These are the jewels that thrive in obscurity, the hidden machines that multiply investment silently but powerfully. The secret is to be patient, to hold your nerve as others panic easier and faster. The stock market toys with patience. Private equity rewards it. Now more than ever, the world resists the exceptional. It aims to process rather than produce, standardize rather than innovate, keep you in line rather than free. But this is precisely why private equity shines. It thrives in the complexity the market fears. It welcomes the rebel, the disruptor, the thinker ready to break rules and rewrite them. To engage here is to reject the passive labels placed on you, to refuse the role of spectator in your own wealth. This space is for those who insist on sovereignty over their capital, their time, their influence. Freedom is not about comfort, it's about power and patience combined. Private equity demands the long game played with sharp eyes and an open mind. It requires you to build networks, not just of capital, but of complementary minds, fierce collaborators, co-creators who, together, can amplify impact far beyond any one individual. The richest don't go it alone. They connect deeply with those whose fire matches theirs. This network builds a foundation, a fortress from which to forge not only money, but meaning, transformation, a future they own. The stock market will always beckon with quick wins and endless chatter, but those who live for more see through its veneer. They move beyond noise to places where transformation isn't an accident of timing, but the result of design. Private equity is the crucible where the few gather to redefine outcomes, where your dollar can wield muscle, and your vision isn't just a hope, but a blueprint coming to life. To join this realm, the willingness to unlearn what the system taught you is essential. To refuse mediocrity, to embrace the edge, to question every truth thrown your way by conventional wisdom. You'll become a craftsman of the future, a builder of something real and lasting, not just a speculator caught in the storm. You'll trade noise for nuance, volatility for stability, illusions for influence. The richest investors don't avoid the stock market out of fear. They avoid it because they know the price of freedom is too high to pay for empty promises. They choose private equity because it's not just an investment class, it's a declaration of independence. It's where power, patience, passion, and partnership converge to create wealth beyond money, wealth of purpose, wealth that endures. So, can comfort ever equal freedom? No. Can a ticker symbol ever replace influence? Absolutely not. The policymakers, the pundits, the crowd, they think trapped markets are the game. But the rare, the relentless, the awakened, they forge their own path where control over fate is the real prize. Private equity is that path. It's the place the elite know to be the quiet heartbeat of true wealth and ultimate freedom. It's time to stop begging for scraps from the market's table and start building your own. The richest investors aren't waiting for permission. They're creating new rules, new realities, new power. The question is not why they avoid the stock market. It's when will you join them?